Hey, what is up, guys? Ace the Wrestling Nut back with you, and welcome to another Guru video. And today I am not alone. I am here with
Ankle Breaker J2. What's up, y'all?
Yeah. So today, me and Justin, Ankle Breaker J2, we're going to be talking a bit about this whole new Super Show era. We've got Raw Superstars on SmackDown, SmackDown Superstars on Raw, and we're pretty much just gonna give our thoughts primarily around this. But before I do that, I want to plug a couple things. First, I want to plug the GOG Twitter. Make sure you go follow that. The link will be down in the description box. Also, go add the GOG as a friend on Facebook. We've got that set up now, so we've got our Facebook and our Twitter all ready geared up to go. And last but not least, on September 16th, keep this date in the back of your head. We're going to be making an announcement video on the GOG. We're just, it's nothing huge. Don't make a 9/16/11 promo video, nothing like that. But on the 16th of September, we are going to make an announcement regarding the GOG and its future and whatnot. We're not going anywhere, but I don't want to give any bit more away. So just keep in touch for that, whatever the hell you want to call it. But yeah, so go follow us on Twitter, add us as a friend on Facebook, and stay tuned for September 16th because a video will be uploaded on the GOG channel that will describe pretty much just what we're doing and whatnot. So let's hop straight into this video. We've got the new Raw and the new SmackDown. So I guess now the Super Show era has begun. Justin, why don't you give me your thoughts on this first, and then I'll finish up, and then I'll give my thoughts on that. So why don't you go first, Justin? Explain just your thoughts all around on this whole Super Show stuff.
In my opinion, I think it'll be good for both brands to have, both talents from Raw and SmackDown on both shows. Eventually, I believe that they're just going to have it combined at one roster again. I think it's better for the talent this way, just simply because of the fact that your mid-card division will suddenly matter more because you can both utilize your talent from SmackDown and Raw. Your actual main event division as well will be matter more. Hell, you can even make a better tag team division out of it. So to me, I believe that it will make better TV and better feuds as well for that.
Yeah, to be honest with you, when it came down to it, at first I was thinking, it doesn't really seem like there's a point for a Super Show. I'd rather, at least for the time being right now, advertise these Super Shows. Because obviously, a lot of people are going to tune into SmackDown later tonight, seeing as there are no spoilers. So a lot of people are now going to be forced to have to watch that. So that's going to be good for ratings. The only thing is, at this point in time, you might as well just kill the brand split. I'm not even going to lie. A lot of people are saying, though, oh, well, the brand split's a good way to get younger guys noticed. And, that is crucial. I don't want to see 4 hours of John Cena, 4 hours of Randy Orton, hell, even 4 hours of CM Punk. I know a lot of marks out there are going to hate on me for that, but when it comes down to it, I still overall feel that you do, at this point in time at least, need to kill the whole brand split. Because, it was good while it lasted, and it had a lot of good moments, but what does the brand split really mean? I mean, back in 2002, 2003, 2004, if you saw a Raw superstar on SmackDown, or vice versa, the commentators would treat them like they're some kind of criminal. Now you see Randy Orton on Raw, and it's like, oh my god, King's drooling
he's being praised. He's being praised every time he goes to Raw.
So, to be honest, there's no really point in the brand split. I mean, we all know the brand split was just created for WWE to try to find competition again, because that's where they do thrive. But I honestly feel the brand split has run its course. I mean, you can still have Raw and SmackDown, but you don't need to have a Raw superstar and a SmackDown superstar, because if you're going to have them on both of the shows anyways, it doesn't seem to make sense, because, I mean, this raises the question of, is there really any point to it? Because, you don't want to see a John Cena on both a Raw and a SmackDown, but sometimes you have to, because you're going to want to bring in the ratings to that show, and clearly John Cena is one of the biggest draws in their company, if not the biggest, so it would make sense why he would be on a Raw and a SmackDown. The only thing is, what's the point in saying he's a Raw superstar and he's a SmackDown superstar if the brand split means nothing, if you're going to have them on both shows anyways? It's just putting a title on them that doesn't really matter to me.
Yeah.
I don't know too much.
Oh, no, go ahead, X.
No, I was just going to say, I don't know if that's a great idea.
Yeah, and also as well, it hasn't been confirmed yet that SmackDown is going to incorporate Raw stars, but eventually, after tonight, it should be, just because of the simple fact, SmackDown, they need star power. if you're gonna incorporate SmackDown superstars on Raw, you might as well just incorporate the Raw superstars on SmackDown, because SmackDown, they really need those stars. You know, all you really have over there right now is Randy Orton, Christian. You can say Mark Henry and Sheamus. But, you know, if they incorporate the Raw stars, you're going to have John Cena, Kevin Nash, CM Punk, Dolph Ziggler, Evan Bourne, Kofi Kingston. You're going to have all these guys that are fan favorites like John Morrison and Alberto Del Rio. You're going to have all these guys in there. You know, it's going to seem like SmackDown will matter again. And also as well, I think they need to move SmackDown away from Friday nights onto Tuesday nights live. That's why I think they're doing this tomorrow, to test it out with this Super SmackDown. They're testing it out to see how this will draw, how much ratings it will get. If they'll get a big enough rating on Tuesday night, I can see WWE going to, you know, Tuesday nights for SmackDown instead of, you know, just taping it and just waiting until Friday. Because in my opinion, I think as well, you know, you're gonna get a bigger audience for that, because there's some people out there that I know that just you know, look at the spoilers, but they don't watch the show. Yeah. You know, this way people, they're gonna be forced to watch the show. They're gonna be forced to see what's going to happen next, and you know, they're gonna be forced to be more intrigued into the product.
Exactly. Yeah. And the fact that, you know, people, we all know these people, the ones that complain things should be more like they were in the Attitude Era. Well, in the Attitude Era, they had Raw and SmackDown, but you still had all the guys showing up on each show. And the fact that, you know, that you can go on any show, that also creates for better build-up. Because think about it, if you can go on any show and there's no brand split and you only have 2 weeks to build up a show, well, before, that meant you had 2 episodes. Now you have 4. Because if, let's say, if you got a match between John Cena and Alberto Del Rio, for instance, you've got John Cena, who could now also do a bit of build-up with Del Rio on SmackDown, go back to Raw, go on to SmackDown, go back to Raw, go on to SmackDown, and that's 6 versus 3. So, not only that, you know, if we get a 4-month build-up to a show, that's really 8 episodes versus just 4 like it would normally be. So, you know, it's just those little things that come into play that just work out so well, and it makes it, the whole product as a whole, better. Because back in 2001, when WWE was putting on great pay-per-views, whether it was with the Alliance, or hell, even in 2000, 1999, 1998, when they were putting on these great shows, there was no brand split. You could go to each show, and you could do, you know, whatever. You know, Austin would have beef with The Rock on Raw, and then he could face him on SmackDown, right? So it goes hand in hand together, and that made you have to watch SmackDown. Because those who normally don't watch SmackDown and just watch Raw, now if there's a match they want to see on SmackDown, do. Because, I mean, there's only so much you can do on SmackDown, which is the smaller show, right? But overall, the one question that really strikes me, and I'm going to get you to answer this for me first, Justin. If there is a killing of the brands and just having everybody on each show, what do you think they do about the world title? How would they, you know, unify it? What, like?
I believe, actually said this in my Raw review last night. I believe with this brand, let's say they combine both brands together permanently, it's going to culminate at WrestleMania. They're going to have a unification of the WWE and the world title, and they're going to have a unification at WrestleMania. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, John Cena and The Rock, that's going to be for the WWE title, or whatever title that's going to be. That match, it doesn't need it. You know, you're going to have a legend versus legend. That type of match doesn't need to be involved with a title.
Exactly.
That just wouldn't make sense. You know, and plus you're going to be wasting the title on a match like that. Don't get me wrong, it will be a good idea for more money and for more pay-per-view buys, but at the end of the day, to build up your stars, you could just have something like Alberto Del Rio, The Miz, and hell, CM Punk in a triple threat match. Maybe that can happen, you know.
Yeah.
But I believe there's going to have some type of a title unification at WrestleMania.
Hell, even Del Rio Orton, that may be cool. I mean, or hell, people are saying Jericho Punk. I mean, not to get into too many WrestleMania predictions, but, you know, people are talking. You know,
there's some number of scenarios that can happen going up to WrestleMania right now. Hell, even up to Survivor Series, because Survivor Series is only, you know, they're 2.5 months away, 3 months technically, but you know, there's gonna be a lot of intrigue going to Survivor Series now, because hell, right now you're gonna be looking at both brands being together now.
Yeah,
so
Rock's supposed to be there.
You know, as Ace said earlier, instead of having three shows per brand, maybe you're gonna have 6 shows total for both brands together.
Yeah, and Rock's supposed to be there. You know, there's tons of different elements making you want to buy Survivor Series 2011. But the way I look at it, other than the unification, I know a lot of people have said, oh, well, if they kill the brand split, they have to kill the U.S. and Intercontinental title and have a unification match between that. Don't forget, back in the day, you know, they had the Intercontinental and the European. The European could fill in for that European kind of role. And, you know, when it comes down to that, you would clearly establish that the Intercontinental title is the more prestigious belt. But, you know, the U.S. title is still of value, of course. And the other thing I know a lot of people are talking about, well, you know, back in the Attitude Era, back, you know, around that time, they had the Hardcore title. And, you know, this always comes into play, and they're like, oh, well, to have the 6 titles, to have the World title, the 2 mid-card titles, the Divas title, or the Women's title, or whatever, the tag titles, and then you have the third little gimmick title. To be honest with you, you know, you have the Intercontinental and US. You don't bring back the Hardcore, because the Hardcore title was good for its time. But, hell, I would improvise, or whatever the word is, I would influence, I guess that's the word, a television title sort of thing, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you could still, I mean, don't defend it on pay-per-views, but you could still have that belt, you know. Of course, it's not really that prestigious. It's not the most prestigious title out there, but hell, it means something, and it gives guys that normally wouldn't have anything to do, something to do. And I mean, you know, that also hurts the guys like the Randy Ortons and the Christians who are battling for a world title. But I mean, if it's only them being showcased on your show anyways, what's the point? Like, I mean, right now it's Randy Orton and Christian. Randy Orton beats Christian 1,000 times because they can't think of anything else to do. Well, at least if there's one world title, you know, people can say, oh, well, at least this way it gives more than one people a chance to have a title, and John Cena will always hold the title. At least this way, you give that television title to a guy that could use it, such as a Zack Ryder or a Santino. You know, I'm not saying
or Evan
push
Bourne
those guys.
Or
yeah,
Mason Ryan when he comes back. But you know, that leads me to the point of this, and I just remembered. I remember back in the Attitude Era, like when it was just all one brand, one show. This is even before SmackDown. Everybody on the roster mattered. Exactly. And what I mean by that is, you can have a Broderick as champion. You can have John Cena, you know, chasing for the belt. Randy Orton chasing for the belt. CM Punk in the main event. You can have all these guys in the main event. Then suddenly your mid card matters even more because of how strong the main event is.
Exactly.
The stronger your main event is, the better your mid card titles will be. The better your Divas division will be. The better, you know, better everything will be. Hell, if you look at Money in the Bank, great build up into the show. Every match on the card matter. Hell, even the Divas match mattered in most cases. Yeah, hell, even Big Show and Mark Henry mattered. Why? Because everything was built up so well from CM Punk and John Cena. Everything else on the card mattered.
Exactly.
So if you have your main event with good storylines as it is right now, because right now storylines are, you know, pretty good. You know, if you have your storylines doing this good and you have your brands together, everything will matter. Your mid card titles will matter. Your Divas division will suddenly matter more. Your tag team division will suddenly more. Everybody will matter on the card. Everybody will be utilized well.
Yeah, and the thing is, you know, if you don't have a Christian or a Randy Orton or whatever doing something in the main event scene, you could always put him in an IC title match, and you may say, oh, well, that's a downgrade title or that's a downgrade for a Randy Orton, but to be honest with you, that's just an upgrade for the IC title to make it seem more important.
Exactly, because I mean, if you look back at hell, like in 2001, the 2-man power trip.
Yeah, exactly.
Stone Cold.
Triple H held the
WWF champion,
title.
and Triple H, he was back down to being the Intercontinental champion. But remember, Triple H at the time, he was a made man in 1999 when he was being against, you know, Mick Foley, you know, going up into Royal Rumble 2000. So Triple H was a main man up until 2001. Since the rosters were so deep in 2001, they made Triple H, you know, Intercontinental champion for a little while until he lost it to Jeff Hardy. But you know, that's a different story.
But yeah, all around though, the whole brand extension, I think it is going to come to an end pretty soon. And, you know, as a whole, the product's going to get better. I do truly feel we're on a verge of a change. It should get better, and I hopefully WWE can move forward from this, and this should be good. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. Remember to subscribe to the Gurus of Greatness, because in reality, we're great. Remember to subscribe to me, subscribe to Justin, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Facebook, and remember, don't forget about September 16th, 2011, we'll have a big announcement, and that's going to do it, guys. Peace out. Justin, give your final 2 cents.
Peace out, guys.